Mr. Lu, enough. You're going to kill him at this rate. Lu Jinian ignored his assistant, pushing him away. Holding on to the half-broken glass cup, he smashed it on the floor. His assistant quickly hugged on to Lu Jinian's waist and used all his strength to pull him back as he shouted, "Mr. Lu, if you kill him, it'll be the end of you as well." Lu Jinian's eyes were so bright, they looked as though they were about to go up in flames. He struggled out of his assistant's restraint, running towards Producer Sun once again. Qiao Anxia couldn't help covering her mouth in shock as Lu Jinian stabbed Producer Sun like a madman. The assistant was in a frenzy. Without a real thought, he turned his head and saw Qiao Anhao lying on the bed unconscious. "Mr. Lu, Miss Qiao seems to be unconscious. We need to call the ambulance immediately." This sentence seemed to have magically calmed Lu Jinian, stopping him instantly. The glass cup was just inches away from Producer Sun's throat. He stared at Producer Sun's bruised-up face, his chest swollen. Lu Jinian clenched the glass cup. His lips pressed together tightly before he tossed it away. Producer Sun shut his eyes in fear as the glass cup brushed past his ear, smashing into the television behind him, a crack forming on the screen as the cup shattered into pieces. Producer Sun trembled uncontrollably, unable to calm down. Lu Jinian couldn't seem to vent the anger within him as he struck the coffee table. Grabbing onto Producer Sun's collar, he stared straight into his eyes. He scowled, then said in a controlled voice, "In this industry, I don't care about what you do, you can sleep with whoever you like." Lu Jinian paused momentarily, his anger staining his eyes bloodshot. He tightened his grip on Producer Sun's collar before continuing menacingly, "But let me warn you, Qiao Anhao is the only one you can't touch, or I'll make sure you pay." Lu Jinian's face sunk, and without looking at Qiao Anxia or his assistant, he entered the bedroom. He tugged at the bedsheet, wrapping it around Qiao Anhao, making sure she was fully covered before carrying her out. When Lu Jinian came out of the room, Qiao Anxia blinked, coming back to her senses. She put down her hands and looked at Qiao Anhao, who was in Lu Jinian's arms. "How is she?" Qiao Anxia reached out, wanting to hold Qiao Anhao's hand. Lu Jinian tightened his arms around Qiao Anhao, stumbling backwards instinctively as though she was a precious gem that required protection. Without bothering to look at Qiao Anxia, he left the room.